Most people fear death, but what if it's not actually you that's afraid? What if the fear isn't coming from your conscious self, but from something deeper, more fragile, and far more dramatic? What if it's coming from your ego, the part of you that wants to be seen, to be remembered, to matter? Because the truth is, death doesn't just threaten your body, it threatens your story, and your story doesn't want to end. The ego doesn't want peace, it wants permanence. It wants to keep existing, not just physically, but socially. It wants to be admired, quoted, photographed, followed, respected. It wants to trend. It wants to be archived. It wants to be missed. And death wipes that clean. No more legacy, no more recognition, no more narrative to protect. That's what makes the ego panic. Not dying, but being forgotten. Not disappearing, but being erased from the minds of others. But what is ego, really? It's not a separate voice whispering from the shadows. It's the identity you've built from experience, from what you've seen, learned, feared, admired, and been rewarded for. It's the self that's been shaped by feedback, by applause, by criticism, by survival. Now imagine stripping that all away. The name, the career, the social roles, the image you defend. What's left? Just the quiet awareness. The part of you that watches it all. That part isn't afraid. Only the story is. You are not your job. You are not your achievements. You are not your online profile. You are not even your reputation. But the ego doesn't believe that. It clings to those things as if they are life itself. Because to the ego, identity is existence. So when it sees death approaching, it doesn't grieve the loss of breath. It grieves the loss of being someone. It grieves the loss of control, of recognition, of permanence. That's why we invented immortality. Not because we understand what happens after this, but because we couldn't accept nothing. We created myths and systems to stretch our names past the grave. We built pyramids. We wrote scriptures. We had children to carry our names. We etched memories into stone, paper, and digital timelines. Not for spiritual clarity, but to satisfy the ego's need to be remembered. Even in death, it needs to be acknowledged. Because to the ego, silence is worse than the end. Silence is being no one. The fear of death isn't always about pain, or darkness, or the unknown. It's about irrelevance. We don't just want to live, we want our living to be noticed. We want to leave an imprint, so we overachieve, we overshare, we overcompensate. We build legacies not just for our families, but to avoid the idea that we might vanish without meaning. But here's the hard truth: the world forgets. Even the most famous names become footnotes. Even the loudest voices are eventually drowned by time. To the ego, that's unbearable. But maybe not to you. When you die, your story ends. But maybe what matters most was never the story. Maybe it was the presence, the stillness, the unseen moments that left no record, the way you listened, the kindness you didn't post about, the forgiveness you gave when no one asked for it. Those moments don't satisfy the ego, but they carry something deeper, something that didn't need to win, prove, or last. Something that wasn't afraid to leave, quietly. So the next time you feel fear rise at the thought of death, ask yourself, who is afraid? Is it really you, the quiet awareness behind all this, the one who watches your thoughts come and go, the one who knows that every story ends? Or is it just your ego, desperate to be remembered, terrified to be erased, clinging to a narrative that was never built to last? Because maybe the part of you that fears death is the only part that was never really alive.